Hi, I'm Carrie Bettinger-Lopez, and I'm the director of the Miami Law Human Rights Clinic. The clinic started in 2010, and since then, we've had the opportunity to engage in human rights litigation, advocacy, and campaigning from our own backyard here in Miami to across the world. The clinic engages in a variety of different forms of advocacy. We do everything from international litigation to fact-finding and documentation. We engage in international policy making as well as domestic law and policy work. We work with global networks of advocates and survivors of human rights violations in order to promote human rights around the world. And we're also involved in community organizing efforts. The Human Rights Clinic does a lot of work, as I mentioned, here in Miami. We work on issues of protecting the rights of low-wage immigrant women who work in agricultural work here in South Florida or in domestic work. We work on ensuring law enforcement accountability to victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. And then we work in the international space as well. We litigate before the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, the Inter-American Court of Human Rights, as well as the African Court on Human Rights and the European Court of Human Rights. We do advocacy and representation before the United Nations in several capacities, both the human rights treaty monitoring bodies, as well as before the United Nations Human Rights Council, and other special mechanisms like the special rapporteurs who have particular thematic focuses. In terms of our thematic focuses in the clinic, they run the gamut from many issues involving gender equality, racial equality, and immigrant justice. We do civil and political rights as well as economic and social rights. And our goal is really to think about an equality framework and how that transcends our human rights work and a human rights agenda. So what does that mean? That means that we've represented a domestic violence victim in a case before the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. That was the first case that the Commission ever considered against the United States of America on behalf of a domestic violence victim. It means that we've worked on issues of the criminalization of homelessness in Miami, as well as in Africa and across the world. It means that we're working on issues of right to food for indigenous peoples and other vulnerable groups, and the effects of corporate development and corporate social responsibility. So the clinic functions as a traditional class in a law school. We meet twice a week in a seminar style where we explore various themes in human rights lawyering and case studies, as well as focus in and hone in on specific lawyering skills, transferable lawyering skills that you can take with you no matter where you end up in your career. Things like interviewing skills, research skills, writing skills, case documentation and fact-finding skills, how to build the theory of a case, and ethics as well as professionalism. These are many things that we explore in the classroom. And then the core of the clinic, the reason that so many students want to take a clinic in law school is because of the experiential component. You will have the opportunity to actually be a human rights lawyer through this clinic by going out into the field, by doing the work that a junior attorney would be doing at a non-governmental organization or at a law firm. And so for approximately 15 hours a week for the duration of the semester, you will be engaged in real-life human rights lawyering. That means having contact with clients, with NGOs, which are non-governmental organizations, with affected individuals who have been directly affected by various human rights violations. You will be engaging in that documentation, in that fact-finding, in that litigation, in policy advocacy. You'll be a part of various campaigns and initiatives here in South Florida and around the world. And you'll have an opportunity to be part of all of this, which I like to call multidimensional lawyering. And it's a very exciting opportunity for you, while in law school, to get your feet wet, to feel your way around, to understand what it means to be a human rights lawyer. So we welcome you, and we hope to see you in the clinic.